This is the India Today Mediaplex. You're watching the NewsTrack. Good evening. I'm Gaurav Shaheen. Seher, Shaheen Bagh. For the past 35 days and counting, protests are on at Shaheen Bagh in Delhi. But these protests are now not restricted just to one locality of Delhi. In Lucknow, in Prayag, in Mumbai, in Pune, in Gaya, in several other cities, the fire only seems to be spreading. The question is, should the government now not reach out first to Shaheen Bagh, then to others? Or is it, as the government says, politically motivated? Organized or organic is our top focus story on the broadcast. The protest that started at Shaheen Bagh in Delhi, that fire has now spread to Ghantaghar in Lucknow, Roshan Bagh at Prayag, Park Circus in Kolkata, Shanti Bagh in Gaya, Muhammad Ali Park in Kanpur, and then these are daily protests. There are also protests that are being organized or organic on every other day. For example, in Deoband, every 3 days people are getting together, or at Sazai Bagh in Patna, every 4 days people are getting together and protesting. While protesters insist it's organic, the Prime Minister says those who lost elections are now spreading misinformation. The BJP insists that these protests are being organized by political parties that lost elections.
The women of Shaheen Bagh are inspiring anti-CAA protesters across the nation. From Lucknow to Kanpur to Gaya, many Shaheen Baghs are springing up. Hundreds of women are sitting on protest at the iconic clock tower in Lucknow since Saturday evening. They allege the police snatched away food and blankets from the protesters in a bid to disperse them.
जो यहाँ पर पुलिस मौजूद थी, सबसे पहले उन्होंने हमारी यहाँ पर जो लाइटों का हम लोगों ने अरेंजमेंट किया था, उन्होंने लाइट को फुल्ली डिस्कनेक्ट कर दिया। उसके बाद जो हमारे ब्लैंकेट्स हम लोगों ने घर से अरेंज करवाए थे सभी के लिए, उन्होंने वो छीन लिया। और उसके बाद इन्होंने तो इंतहाई खत्म कर दी कि हम लोगों का जो घर से खाना आया हुआ था, वो खाने भी लेके उठा के चले गए। बताइए साहब, आप क्या समझते हैं कि इन सारी चीजों से हम पीछे हट जाएंगे?
In Kanpur's Muhammad Ali Park, women have been staging protest for the last 14 days.
हम लोग जब तक यहाँ पर यहीं पर रहेंगे, जब तक यहाँ से नहीं जाएंगे, तब तक हमें हमारा ये बिल वापस नहीं होता है। जब ये बिल वापस हो जाएगा, अभी तो हम 4 घंटे के लिए सिर्फ आ रहे हैं, हम यहाँ पर 24 घंटे भी रहेंगे।
In Gaya's Shanti Bagh, women along with children are protesting in a colorful yet powerful manner.
डेमोक्रेटिक नेशन है और अगर कोई पॉलिसीज लाते हैं गवर्नमेंट तो हमारा हक बनता है कि हम उसको क्वेश्चन करें, हम उसके खिलाफ अगेंस्ट हों। अगर हमारे इंटरेस्ट में वो चीज़ नहीं हो तो हम वो करेंगे, हम वो तब तक करेंगे जब तक ये लॉ वापस नहीं लिया जाता, जब तक ये काला कानून नहीं हटता, हम यहाँ पे लड़ते रहेंगे।
The Narendra Modi government has so far refused to engage with protesters of Shaheen Bagh. But with protests spreading, the government may have to reach out. Bureau Report, India Today.
Seher, Shaheen Bagh seems to be the name of the game as protests intensify. Now, are these protests organic or are they organized and, as the Prime Minister says, by those who lost elections. Joining me on the broadcast, GVL Narasimha Rao is BJP Rajya Sabha MP. Anjali Bharadwaj is the founder of Sarthak Nagrik Sansthan. Javed Ansari is a senior journalist and analyst. Raghav Avasthi is an advocate and an activist. But GVL Narasimha Rao, what is the evidence that these protests are organized and not organic?
Now, Gaurav, what are they protesting about? I want to ask each one of them, is any of them losing citizenship? Is anyone taking away their citizenship? Why are they protesting against citizenship being given to persecuted Hindus, Sikhs and Jains and Buddhists coming from Pakistan, Bangladesh? What is their issue? These are organized protests because they want, this is a radical Muslim community which is actually holding out a Muslim blackmail. I don't think these are not protests. This is a blackmail, and no government and no civil society will ever surrender before blackmail. You have seen how the Congress minister in Maharashtra, Ashok Chavan, said, we took the permission of the Muslims before getting into a government in Maharashtra, by which he is saying, we have a Muslim veto on our party. Only if they agree, we align with a political party in Shiv Sena.
So
here,
are you saying this is Muslims? No, but isn't this the BJP's attempt?
Therefore, they are going back on their own line on CAA.
Sir, are you trying to make this Muslims versus CAA protest?
What did Manmohan say in 2003?
Let me bring in Anjali Bharadwaj.
Absolutely. It is radical Muslims who simply want to take on the people of this country. I think it's a blackmail. We will not surrender. We will call out this blackmail because none of them in Shaheen Bagh, none of them is going to lose citizenship. So what are they protesting against? On whose behalf are they protesting?
Anjali Bharadwaj, the BJP says that this has been organized by the Congress party. It's been organized by the Aam Aadmi Party in some instances, by opposition that's lost elections to the BJP in some cases.
Under pressure from radical Muslims.
Okay, you're saying under pressure from radical Muslims. Anjali Bharadwaj.
First of all, I think it's very unfortunate when in a democracy, someone from the ruling party is actually towing this kind of a line when people are expressing dissent. I think the worst thing that any government can do is to label anyone who expresses dissent about something either as radical fundamentalists or ascribing motives to them. I think people across the country, I'm sorry Mr. Rao, let me finish. People across the country, women, are peacefully protesting. They are saying something to you. If you are a government which is confident, please have the confidence to engage with them. The last thing in a democracy that any country needs is when people are upset, and this is a genuine concern that people are expressing. The CAA is a law which is discriminatory. There are certain religious communities which have been named. There are 6 of them, and certain religious communities, Muslims being one of them, have not been named in the Citizenship Bill Amendment Act. So I think that they have a very genuine concern. What the government needs to do, what the Prime Minister, the Home Minister, you perhaps need to do, Mr. Rao, is to go and engage with these people, and that is when you will realize that calling people radical, saying that they are being sponsored, sometimes saying they are taking money, all of that is not going to help the situation. They have a genuine concern. It should be addressed.
Okay, respond to that very direct query and direct point made by Anjali Bharadwaj, GVL Narasimha Rao. Before I bring in my other guest, why is the Narendra Modi government, which is otherwise reaching out to a lot of people to explain the Citizenship Amendment Act, you have ministers who are traveling across the length and breadth of this country, why not you know, one of the 7 MPs travel to Shaheen Bagh, or maybe Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi or Shahnawaz Hussain, or you, for example, sir, why not travel to Shaheen Bagh and explain the Citizenship Amendment Act to those people who are protesting there?
No, but why can't they explain? Ms. Bharadwaj, who is speaking for them, she has not answered my question. Has any of them, or is any one of them being in danger of losing citizenship? Are all those protesting, are they protesting of losing their citizenship? No. They are simply being put up. It's actually possibly the cause lies elsewhere. The opposition is to a BJP-led government. They want to use this only as a pretext. I'm telling you directly, it's a blackmail. The Congress is under blackmail. Sonia Gandhi has been subject to Muslim blackmail because they have held a gun to her. Manmohan Singh supported CAA in 2003. In 2004, 5, 6, persecuted minorities, just let me finish in 30 seconds. Okay. Minorities, persecuted Hindus were given citizenship in Rajasthan and Gujarat. And in 2012, Ashok Gehlot asked for Hindus and Sikhs to be given citizenship from Pakistan. He did not ask for Muslims. Why are they asking today? Because radical Muslims are terrorizing the Congress. And for them, it's a vote bank. CPM also supported persecuted minorities citizenship. They have also gone back. They're all rallying behind these Muslims because radical Muslims ko ye pasand nahi hai.
Okay. Javed, is there merit in the government claiming that what's the point of reaching out? After all, there are people who are misleading these people and they're willingly getting misled in the name of a community being othered, Javed.
Gaurav, I think this is being patently unfair to all those out there on the street protesting, students, women, people from all across life. Not just Shaheen Bagh. Is it Mr. Narasimha Rao and the BJP's case that students of IIM Ahmedabad are being sponsored by the opposition? Students of IIM Gujarat, of TIS, of medical colleges, of medical institutes, of management institutes, of these hundreds of thousands of people that you see on a daily basis across the land out protesting there? Are they all being sponsored and organized by the opposition? If that indeed is the case, then suddenly the opposition has become very powerful, and Mr. Narasimha Rao's party needs to shiver in their pants, because if this the opposition had so much of organizational skill and it was that powerful, they wouldn't be in the pitiable state. They wouldn't be in the pitiable state.
Supporting,
it's patently unfair to term this, give this a communal angle.
GVL Narasimha Rao, before I come to you, let me quickly bring in Raghav Awasthi.
I am Ahmedabad, and I am Bangalore are not radical Muslims. There are no radical Muslims out on the streets. In fact, one of the redeeming features of this is that the ground has shifted. The power balance has shifted from under the feet of the Maulvis and the clerics.
I'll respond.
Okay, Raghav Awasthi, students are on the streets from JNU to Jamia, from IITs to IIMs, even a college like St. Stephen's College, the prestigious St. Stephen's College, you had students out protesting. If, as Javed Ansari puts it, if it was the Congress party that was able to do this, they wouldn't have had just about 52 seats in Lok Sabha, sir. So perhaps you're not seeing the real problem, Raghav Awasthi.
Gaurav, we have to understand that elections are held in this country as per the Constitution of India. And what the BJP or any government promises in the manifesto is a solemn promise made to the people of the country. That is to the almost 50% of the country's population which voted for the BJP as well as NDA, 38% of the BJP, I think around 7% for the NDA. So these are the people who have voted. The CAA was part of the BJP's manifesto. Now there is a solemn duty enjoined upon the government to fulfill whatever it has stated in its manifesto. There might be people protesting on the street. It is their right to do so. However, they cannot interfere with public order. They cannot in perpetuity cause traffic jams, which is happening in Shaheen Bagh right now. That would be thoroughly undemocratic. What the government has done is the democratic thing. All those who are trying to hijack it are undemocratic. This is akin to the kind of military coups that are attempted in Pakistan, where a small minority of army officers claiming some sort of blessing from
sir,
the
people. Schooly बच्चे, college के बच्चे सड़कों पर हैं. How are you comparing it to a military coup, sir? No. But on the point of
whoever these people are, whoever.
Let me bring in Anjali Bharadwaj. Anjali Bharadwaj
are to be accorded greater respect.
Okay. The point that both Raghav Avasthi and GVL Narasimha Rao have made, ma'am, is that the BJP promised it will bring the Citizenship Amendment Act in its manifesto. It's fulfilling its manifesto. If somebody has a problem with it, challenge it in a court of law or challenge the BJP electorally. What people are doing is blocking a road, causing hardships to people for 35 days and counting, first in Delhi, and now it's spreading to other places. And the BJP insists only in areas where the opposition has a voice or is strong.
Let me first clarify one thing, Gaurav. Mr. Rao said that I was speaking for the women of Shaheen Bagh. I'm speaking for myself. I think I speak for every Indian who's concerned about the constitution being compromised. And I do not believe this is a fight of any one community, leave alone a radicalized community. I think those of us who want an equal, just and secular society all want the government to recognize that the CAA is not acceptable because it is discriminatory. As far as going to courts is concerned, the courts have been approached, the courts will take the decision, but in a democracy, people have the right to protest, they have a right to dissent, they have a right to tell their elected government. And let us remember one thing, that the same BJP was, when they passed the Triple Talaq law, they were saying that all the Muslim sisters are with us. What is wrong today? If those women are saying something, if the people of this country, a lot of them, and let's not just confine this and make this a Muslim versus somebody else battle. This is all the people who are talking about India as a democracy, as a secular, united country. There is a concern. Why is the government not engaging? Why does the government, you talked about some civic traffic troubles. Look, the government has the option today to go and talk to those people. Gaurav. If in Shaheen Bagh they feel that people are protesting, they want the protest to get over, there are many peaceful ways in a democracy to do that. Why should there not be a dialogue with these people? They are inviting Mr. Modi, they are inviting the government to come and talk to them. Somebody should initiate a dialogue and think of getting this into a space where this doesn't have to continue.
There can be no dialogue with enemies of the state.
No, Gaurav.
No, how are they enemies of the state? No, wait. We'll take this one by one. GVL Narasimha Rao first. Yes, sir. Let's have a debate.
Gaurav.
GVL Narasimha Rao first. Mr. Rao first. No. First, Mr. Rao. Mr. Avasthi, I will come to you. First, Mr. Rao. Anjali Bharadwaj has made a point. Go on, Mr. Rao. Why not engage?
Yeah, Gaurav, on this particular issue, there has been a national consensus for 7 decades, not in the last 2 years or 3 years. From Mahatma Gandhi to Pandit Nehru to Dr. Manmohan Singh to Prakash Karat to Rahul Gandhi's manifesto in Rajasthan. They supported citizenship for religious minorities from Pakistan and Bangladesh after its formation. The CPM passed their own resolutions. Number of CPM MPs asked for citizenship for minorities from Pakistan and Bangladesh. What has changed now? All that has changed is there is pressure on parties like the Congress and CPM from a vote bank, from the Muslim vote bank. Radical Muslims are putting pressure on them. Therefore, they changed their position. I think the entire parliamentary democracy, it has happened. The law has been formed based on discussions in parliament. We have put this in our manifesto. This bill has been under discussion for 3 years.
Why not say all of this at Shaheen Bagh?
2015-16. Why not say this? Then?
You know, instead of BJP leaders. No, sir, hear me out. Sir, hear me out. instead of BJP leaders saying कि वहां पर सलमान खुर्शीद क्यों है, वहां पर शशि थरूर क्यों है, वहां पर मनीशंकर अय्यर क्यों है, वहां सीताराम येचुरी क्यों है, वारिस पठान क्यों है, instead of saying why are they there, why not go there and give your side of the story? If you are more convinced, like the ladies supported you on triple talaq, they may support you now.
Gaurav.
No, Gaurav, it's not that they don't know what is happening. 30 seconds, I'll come to you. They certainly, they have been, I said Gaurav, they have been really, they are working to an agenda. The agenda is, I will be blunt, Gaurav, I don't know whether you like it or not. I think there is a certain section has antipathy towards the BJP. Possibly, I think the decision in favor of the Ram temple also has antagonized a certain radical section of the Muslims. Therefore, they want to use some opportunity to somehow try and make this government a villain. So it's an agenda. This is an agenda of a vested interest group.
So
and
you will not reach out.
Convince them by giving them facts. We will expose them like the way I am doing today.
Okay, Javed, even as we speak, senior Congress leader Digvijay Singh has reached Shaheen Bagh. Now, you know, whether it's a Manishankar Iyer or a Digvijay Singh or Salman Khurshid or Shashi Tharoor. Salman Khurshid, I believe, is going there tomorrow. With so many leaders going there, will it not give more ammunition to the BJP to target, the protesters, saying they are funded by the Congress, they are giving a platform to the Congress or to the left? Javed.
Look, even without evidence, the BJP people in the BJP are saying that they are funded by the Congress. What is preventing Mr. Narasimha Rao from going there? There's an open invitation. Today, the former Lieutenant Governor and former Vice Chancellor of Jamia, Mr. Nassif Jung, has made an eminently sensible suggestion. Speak to them. All that the government of India needs to do is not treat this as any big ego issue. Just tweak it. Do not take out the religious factor. After all, at the end of the day, it's the government of India which decides who gets citizenship, who doesn't. The government of India, in its wisdom, decided that Mr. Adnan Sami, the son of a former Pakistani Air Force pilot who took part in sorties against India in 1965 and 74,
yes,
India
71.
in its large-heartedness gave him citizenship. In many other cases, they were denied. The government of India will have the final say on who becomes a citizen or not. Why put in this religious factor? The fear is there merit? That once religion becomes a part of the statute books, what is to prevent it?
Anjali Bharadwaj, is there merit in G.V.L. Narasimha Rao saying, before I bring in Raghav Awasthi, Anjali Bharadwaj, is there merit? It's the Ram Mandir verdict, it's Article 370, it is the Citizenship Amendment Act, it's triple talaq. All of these issues have combined together, and that is why the BJP alleges that a section of radical Muslims have now come together against the government because they are feeling marginalized और इन महिलाओं के कंधे पर रखकर बंदूक चला रहे हैं मैडम.
देखिए, if Mr. Rao feels that there have been certain things that have been done, 370 and many others that he mentioned, which would hurt the sentiments of a community, it's a very important thing or a very critical thing which they should introspect about. I mean, now to say that किसी के कंधे पर बंदूक लगा रहे हैं, आप मुझे बताइए, in this kind of cold, it's been raining 1 degree, please tell me who can you fool to sit all night? These women are sitting there 24/7 on a vigil. Who is going to sit there unless they are convinced that they are being wronged under the CAA? And let me again say, nobody has any problem with anyone's citizenship being fast-tracked. The problem is when some communities on religious grounds are left out. So if the country
just on
wants
Article
to say
370,
that
if I
Hindus,
may, why
Sikhs,
would any Indian
Christians, Jains,
have
Buddhists,
an
Parsis
issue with Article 370 being abrogated?
Leave out Muslims.
Okay, G.V.L. Narasimha Rao has a question for you.
That is the issue. Okay, that is discriminatory, and that is what people are against.
Okay, G.V.L. Narasimha Rao.
No, I've been asking repeatedly this question, and neither Ms. Anjali nor Javed is answering this. Is any of them losing citizenship, anyone who is sitting out there? Are they all fighting for the great democratic and constitutional values? I'm certainly not convinced. None of them is affected by this law. This will only give citizenship to others, persecuted Hindus and Sikhs. They are out there because certain radical Muslims who do not want, who perhaps feel aggrieved by some decision. Article 370 is in national interest. If somebody doesn't like it, two hoots to them. We don't care. We know it's in national interest and it shall be implemented. And as far as this is, CAA तो बहाना है, क्या राम मंदिर निशाना है? यही सवाल पूछना चाहेंगे.
Okay. Javed, is that it? CA bahana hai, Ram Mandir nishana hai.
Gaurav, can I come in here?
Yes, please. Both of you one by one. Yes, Javed Ansari first and then Anjali and then Mr. Awasthi.
This is absolutely wrong.
I want to come in too, Gaurav.
Yes, please, sir. After Javed.
Gaurav,
yes.
This is absolute. Gaurav, this is absolutely wrong. And is it Mr. Narasimha Rao's case that now that the Akalis want, the Akalis have also opposed CA, that they are also radical Muslims? Is it his case that his alliance partner is also influenced by radical Muslims?
No, wrong, you're wrong.
The Prime Minister can make a deal with Naga insurgents.
No, Mr. Javed, you're wrong. They have not opposed.
Okay. I also want to bring in Raghav Awasthi. Raghav Awasthi, is there an apprehension this fire could spread to and is spreading to other states? The government could well be sitting on a volcano, sir. It could erupt and that could be detrimental to peace in our country. Raghav Awasthi.
Whichever volcano erupts, the fact is, as I have said earlier, first of all, even if there is a Pakistani Muslim like Adnan Sami's example was given by Ansari Saab, and he or she wants to apply for citizenship, then his case would be processed under the same laws that enabled Adnan Sami to get citizenship. So I don't know what religious discrimination these people are discussing. Okay. There is absolutely no bar that this law places upon any Pakistani Muslim or Afghani Muslim. Javed Saab, no, you are incorrect. Please, I would urge you to go through the act. You are a very well-educated person. Please go through the act. Please go through the act. The Amendment Act is very clear. I am a Pakistani Muslim and tomorrow if I want to apply for citizenship of India, my application has to be processed under the same laws. That is one thing. So there is no basis for saying that there has been discrimination. Okay. The second point is that even if there is discrimination, the forum to adjudicate constitutional questions is the Supreme Court of India or the concerned High Court. Why don't these people approach the courts?
Well, Anjali Bharadwaj perhaps has answered that. Courts have also been approached, but dissent
should instruct some good senior counsels and they can then oppose this law in court. What is the point of this thuggery in the streets? This is
dissent or thuggery on the streets, organized or organic. This debate will continue. I've run out of time on the show this evening, but we'll track that story very closely. To all my guests, many thanks for joining me. Up next, and don't go away, it's extremely important. Rahul Kanwal from Davos with the IMF chief economist. Details coming up.